guys, this is Dimitri from Dimitri's Travel and Tips, and today we're going to be talking about Korea. So, as you guys know, I lived in Korea for 2 years, and I've been all around the country to all of the major cities, and so today I'm going to tell you my favorite cities in Korea. Number 1, Busan. So Busan is an amazing city and one that I regret I didn't get a lot of time to spend in, guys. However, every single moment that I spent in Busan was amazing. From it being a seaside town with amazing beaches, the best beaches in Korea if you ask me, and some of my favorite beaches that I've been anywhere in the world. It has the most amazing international food scene in Korea, where it actually tastes authentic and not Korean style international food like you'll find in many places, and most places actually around Korea. They have amazing temples, my favorite being Yonggung Temple. It's a seaside one, so you get the rugged, rocky coastline, the waves lapping up. And then on the one side, and then here you have the temple perched up there. Oh, it's so nice, guys. It's really great. This is also a global hub, guys. Busan is, I believe, the first or the second biggest port city in the world. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but I remember hearing some kind of statistic like that. But because of its globalness, you get people from all over. I met people from the US, Africa, Europe, other Asian countries, and of course Korea as well. And I was only there for 5 days. This is one of those places like Itaewon or Seoul, where you can meet a lot of expats and people from around the world. It can be very exciting if you're into that sort of thing. Because of this, and because Busan itself is a little bit more rough and rugged when it comes to cities in Korea, you get a very unique atmosphere because you have the huge metropolitan area on the one side, you have the beaches on the other side, you've got the temples over here, and then you've got all the Koreans and the expats and the global community mixing together. It's a really unique situation compared to all the other cities in Korea that I visited. So this is a very interesting place to visit. It's kind of like a cheaper Seoul, but in my opinion, better. Number 2 is Moho. So Moho is another seaside town. It's got great seafood, kind of like a relaxed vibes, very friendly, and they have many islands to explore. In case you guys didn't know, South Korea has hundreds, if not thousands of islands actually around some of its coastal areas, and these can be really interesting to visit because they have their own kind of culture, their own temples. They're very slow and laid back, not the Bali culture of Seoul or other parts of Korea. There's numerous local attractions to see for very cheap, I might add. And because it's a KTX site, you can easily go from Moho to any of the major cities in South Korea pretty quickly and easily. So if you're someone who needs that kind of big city feeling, you can get that on the weekends or on your vacation without any problem. Next on the list, number 3, is Yosu. Now this is a little city that's near Busan. This is another great place for seafood. Some of the best seafood that I've had in all of South Korea. They also have numerous islands like Moho, but I found the islands in Yosu to be a little bit more interesting than the ones in Moho. That's just my opinion. Maybe I missed some when I was in Moho, so if you know, leave me a comment down below and tell me about it. I'd love to hear. It also has a wonderful and rich history, guys. This is one of the hometowns of Shin, the great Korean admiral. You'll find statues and stories all around Korea, but especially in the southern areas where most of his exploits took place. You can actually visit his temple home on one of the islands off the coast of Yosu. I think I mentioned that in a video here, so make sure and check that out, guys, if you're interested. And while this is another sea location, you're sensing a theme here, guys. The sea here is a little bit different than Moho or Busan. The water is so super clear, especially when you get to the islands. It's very beautiful. It's a very rich green, beautiful color. You're gonna feel like you're in some tropical island somewhere, especially if you're in the summer. Trust me, it gets hot over there. In addition to all of these things, it's another place where you can have a very relaxed pace of life. Huge seafood and just general markets in the area. And my favorite thing about Yosu is it's so walkable. You can walk anywhere to all the attractions, anywhere you need to go. As long as you don't have any kind of physical ailments, you're going to have such an easy time, and you're going to enjoy a healthier lifestyle getting around here, I think, as well. Number 4 is Janju. If you go south from Seoul, it's a few hours bus ride, or you can take the KTX from there and arrive very quickly, I think maybe in an hour. It has many beautiful local traditions and cultures going on. This is kind of the place that you will go to see and experience hanbok and other numerous ancient Korean traditions in their culture. You can learn all about history. It's very picturesque. I think the Korean government has gone through great lengths to make it a very beautiful and picturesque location. And since there's so much hanbok going around everywhere, you're going to see and experience some great picture opportunities. Get those IG reels rolling, guys, because there's going to be everyone and their grandmother in these beautiful, beautiful traditional Korean clothes. It's just going to make for an amazing scene and atmosphere, guys. If you just go anywhere outside of the historic district, you'll be able to find some decent food no matter where you go. Don't eat in the historic district, guys. It's so expensive and not that good. Just go a kilometer, half a kilometer out of the historic district, and you'll find much higher quality and better value food. But anyway, in addition to these things, Janju is also positioned quite nicely to experience lots of amazing Korean mountains and hiking locations. So make sure to check that out. Number 5, Guangzhou. Now Guangzhou is a foodie city, and I'm talking like for Koreans. They talk about Guangzhou as being a place to get all kinds of great and delicious food. When I went there, every single time I had the best food, guys. And what they do is they can actually take some more common foods like samgyeopsal, and they change it somehow to make it in a more unique and tasty way. Like when I went the last time, you know, samgyeopsal, it's like this. It's very thin and tiny and all that stuff. This was not like that. This samgyeopsal was like so thick. It was like a hunk of an animal that they were grilling and roasting on there, and all the fat and the juices and the flavors. Wow, my mouth is watering just thinking about it. It's so good, guys. So definitely if you go to Guangzhou, eat some food. But in addition, it is one of the biggest cities in Korea, and so it has all the metropolitan amenities that you might find in Seoul or Busan or any other big city. So it's a very exciting place. It also has good museums. Now the only thing about Guangzhou that I didn't like is it's very spread out. Because it's so big, I found it very hard to get around the city. It's not like it has an advanced public transport system like the subway, like in Seoul. I think they do have a subway, but it's not at the same level, you know. Number 6, guys, Daegu. This place is so fun, guys. It's a very young city. It's also one of the most expensive cities, I think, because of that young population. When it comes to accommodation, food, transportation, anything, it's going to cost you more in Daegu. But that's no reason to discount it as a destination. It is the hometown of Chimek. It's the famous place for Chimek, which, if you don't know, is fried chicken and beer, typically in a kind of picnic situation, you know? You'll find this all over Korea, in the grassy, natural places, and people drinking beer, eating chicken. Oh, it's so nice. And typically in the popular places, you can even sit your blanket down or whatever, and then the people around you, you'll all start talking and having fun together. By the end of the night, it's a big party. I love this tradition in Korea. It's one of my favorites. And this is the home of it. It also is the best place to find craft beer, in my opinion, in Korea, guys. I've found craft beer in a few places around Korea, and they're good, but not like Daegu. Daegu has a lot, and they're very trendy, they're very fun. The beer is definitely like at the same standard as you might expect from an American craft beer company. Very good, unique flavors. If you're a beer lover, head to Daegu. You're gonna have a good time. And my final note about the city is, while it is one of the bigger cities in Korea, it has neighborhoods like in Seoul, and each neighborhood has its own kind of personality. Even though it's a big metropolitan area, it kind of feels like it has that small town, local neighborhood charm, you know what I mean? And you can go and explore those different locations at your leisure without too much difficulty. And finally, guys, the last one, the one you've all been waiting for, the one you're expecting, you know that I'm gonna say and talk about. Number 7 is Seoul, the capital city of Korea. Of course, how could I not mention that? Now this place has endless things to do, so many different neighborhoods to explore, restaurants and bars to visit, little hidden gems and alleyways to check out, reminiscent of, but different than Tokyo in Japan. You know, you can find a lot of really cool stuff, great photo opportunities if you're going there for photography. It of course has many clubs and nightlife destinations. Maybe things don't stop around there until about 4 in the morning. Shopping is of course king here, guys, whether it's for beauty products, clothing, electronics, and more. You know, people from around the country come to Seoul for shopping. It's not only a better variety and better quality than in some of the other places, you will also find everything at a much lower price. So you'll get a bigger bang for your buck. In addition, if you're not interested in that sort of stuff, they also have numerous museums, temples, all the great palaces of Korea. You know, if you visit during Chuseok as well, guys, all of these places are putting on special events, shows, concerts, performances. You know, it's the best time to visit. In addition, all of these things are going to be free. So while you may have to contend with more crowds, the atmosphere will be a lot more lively and ecstatic. In addition, you'll save a lot of money on stuff. I think it's the best time to visit Seoul, but also Korea. And of course, as you all know, it's the trendiest place in Korea. It's where all the Korean dramas, all the movies, the TV shows, the music videos, everything that you see about Korea, 95% of it is probably taking place in or near Seoul. It's just how it is. So if you're trying to get that more glamorous Hollywood vibe, Seoul is definitely the place you want to go. You'll also find most of the expats in Korea living and visiting Seoul. So if you want to meet other foreign people, go there. And Busan as well. Which leads me to my final point. many people just think of Seoul when they think of Korea. Please, guys, Seoul is a great city. I love Seoul. I've been there 20, 30 times. But it's not all that Korea has to offer. Please visit the other cities that I've outlined in this video. You know, if you want to live in Korea or move here, Seoul is also going to be the most expensive place by far. So if you are interested in Korea, whether it's to visit or to live, check out this video on how you can do it. And if you don't know why you should, check out this video here and I can tell you about all the amazing things the country has to offer. But like I said, Korea is more than Seoul, even is more than these cities that I've mentioned. Please explore the whole country. Go to the countryside, hike some mountains, go to Jeju, go to some small islands. Go off the beaten path, guys. It's a very easy country to do that in. And you'll get a much better overall experience if you partake in the rest of the country. But anyway, that's just what I think. I want to point out that these are just my opinions and they're based on my experiences, so some people may disagree with some of the things I've said today. Just remember, I'm a regular person, just like you. If you did disagree, or if you liked anything about what I said, please leave a comment. I read all of them, guys. And finally, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my video. Alright, bye guys.